Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll be looking at style reference codes like uh, like this. So first I'll show images and then I'll go into detail on these codes. So we'll be looking at 20 different ones, and what these are the top 20 ranked codes from a website, which I will show in a bit. Boy, this looks a lot better this way than it does on my phone. Uh, a lot better on the computer. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of different styles. So this is one of the ones that I liked that I went into more detail. Now this one was kind of weird, I thought, because there's a batch of four. These are the four, and these three look pretty similar, but that one looks way different. Anyway, going on. And coming up here, this is one that I liked. And so there was three that I went into more detail on. And most of these pink ones I didn't care too much for. But of the pink ones, this was my favorite. And I did like these kind of drawing ones. This is cute. All right, and then this is the third one that I liked a lot. Okay, so where did I get these from? There is a website called MidJourney.sref.com. Now, I've talked about MidJourney.io, and they have a lot of style reference codes, but um, they're hard to get at. By which I mean, like, I wanted to be able to do a right mouse. Well, let me do it. I'll show it here. This is what it'll look like. You do a right mouse click on View Page Source, and then you get something like this. I'm sorry that this is reacting slow. Anyway, it'll show you the page source, and then you can copy and paste that for like ChatGPT to parse. That's the idea. And unfortunately, I can't show you because this isn't responding. And anyway, on this site, it's got the best trending SRef codes. So it shows the top 20 codes. And if this thing ever responds, it'll show 20 of them. And that's what I grabbed them from. But I did it with ChatGPT. So I just grabbed the page source and asked it um, to parse it. So I can show how to do that if this thing ever responds. But let's see, what do I want to wait for? If I click on this, I wonder if I could show a different one because it doesn't really matter what the page is. I wonder if nothing is responding well, though. That could be a problem. Let's see. Let me just open up a random page. All right. And then if you do a right mouse click, view page source, then you get stuff that looks like this. So you can take that to ChatGPT or whatever AI you want to use, and you tell it what to look for. And so basically, what I wanted to look for had SRef in it, and to find it. Okay, I'll talk more about that later. Okay, for now, let's go back to the images. So, so I was interested in this one. I really like this quite a lot. And so I asked ChatGPT to make more prompts with this SRef, I'll call it, style reference code. I'll just say SRef. So, and it did. And I asked it to try to figure out what was going on with this SRef, how it worked. And so it acted like a detective. So I had to download the images and then upload it so I could see what they look like and then kind of refine its opinions. And so this is with the same standard reference code that we just looked at. All of these are. So it came up with these images that were, no, oh, I'm sorry. That's not this one. I did that one later. It's actually this one. I'll come to it. It's another one that I said I liked. All right. It's this one, the Eagle one. This is the standard reference code. Okay. So I had to do a bunch of prompts like that. And I was expecting to see something, of course, that looks like this. And see, if we look on this batch of these four eagles, these all look very similar. All right. But then when I did the prompts, let me get up there, using that reference code. That's what we were just looking at. That's these. All right. So this is that reference code of the eagle that I just did, the blue one. And you can see this looks a lot different. Doesn't look at all like that. And then here's the same reference code, this 16121. And these look different. Now this one looks similar. So of the 8 that we've looked at, only this one looks like the eagle one, where it's got more of a bluer, kind of shade to it. Okay, and I'll go on and show some more. And now these are all nice. So I liked all of these a lot, even though it wasn't what I expected. And so this is with the gray, this is more golden. And that has to do with the actual prompt that ChatGPT gave it, that it had a warmer color to it. And then here we got, so these are all animals. And I told it it could do other things besides animals. So here we've got some, trees. And when I first started working with this, when I saw the first list of 20, I wasn't like that into it. But then when I started looking into like one actual code and doing a bunch with it, I really liked what this came up with a lot, even though they're quite different, which I found surprising. I expected that the SRef would have more of an impact than what it's having. And the impact is very nice, but it's kind of difficult to figure out what exactly it's doing. So that's something I wanted to talk about. And also, I wanted to share this prompt because I thought this was just an absolutely amazing prompt. This is from ChatGPT. Let me just read this. A storm gathers in the distance, reshaping the landscape in shadow and light. The air is thick with change, and every living thing feels the shift. Somewhere in the wild, a force moves against the wind, neither yielding nor resisting. The moment holds the weight of something ancient, something waiting, and then the style reference code. So that is quite a prompt. Okay. All right, so here are some more. These are all, again, with the same style. Oh, we're going into a new one. Sorry about that. That's here. All right, so the last one was this one. Then I went into another one. All right, so I did this many of these, and I'm interacting with ChatGPT, showing it the images and asking it for, insights into what's happening. And that's this one here. So I just wanted to share like what it came up with. And sorry about that. I should have cleaned this up, but you can read this okay. So what happened was when I did this from the phone and copied it into this, it gave some kind of funky, these are supposed to be like bullet points. But anyway, here's what ChatGPT figured out. It said, this SRF is definitely enforcing large-scale natural landscapes, cinematic lighting and atmosphere, themes of solitude, grandeur, and resilience. And then it allows freedom in color palette, artistic style, composition, and subject placement. And then as I gave him more, it says what this confirms about the standard reference code. And again, so I'm running the prompts and then I'm showing it the images, um, which you can just go to your ChatGPT session and uh, and click on the paper clip. What's this perplexity? All right, sorry about that. It works a similar way. So you click on the plus, okay, and then I didn't save it here though. I saved it on my phone, so it won't work here. But anyway, upload from computer, and on your phone, it's really cool. It'll do it from photos. So you just go to your MidJourney app on your phone, download it. It'll have an option to save file and or to save it. You can save it to your photos, save it to your photos, and then upload from your photos. And okay, so that's what I did. I showed it to it, and so we're going back and forth, analyzing it, and it's refining what it's thinking is happening. And so it says it strongly prioritizes mood and compositions. It seems to push toward lone figures in vast spaces, and it still enforces lighting drama. Okay, so that's how I'd analyze what it was doing. And yeah, I thought it was quite interesting because I was expecting just to get kind of those blue, strong blue animated type looks that we saw from the first eagle, but it wasn't that. It was something different. So a similar thing happened with the pizza one. So let me drill down to the pizza one just to get a starting point. So I used that as another one I was looking at. Okay, here. So you can see that these four pieces all look the same. I thought, well, these were quite nice images. I like this style. So this is this one starting with the three. And so I did a bunch of these, and a similar thing happened into where I started doing more of these prompts. They looked a lot different than the original one. So here are, this is that same style reference code. And I'm not sure, I think ChatGPT wanted to try different subjects to try to figure out. I let it go about it. I just told it what I wanted it to do, which was to try to figure out how the style reference code was working. And this time, rather than doing the same image, actually, I prompted it differently. That's why it's doing something different. The first time I just had it do similar prompts. It kind of went at it. But this time I was like, when I got into the flow of like, okay, what's going on with it? Then it's acting more like detective and it's trying to figure out, okay, let's give it like different sorts of images to see if we can figure out, you know, what's happening. Like just like a human would do. It's pretty cool, you know, because if you're going to try to figure out how a style reference code is working, then, you know, that's what you would do. You try different subjects, different backgrounds, and so on, and try to see what the impact is. So that's what it did. And I thought, this is, you know, a beautiful image, really, really nice, but not at all what the pizza looks like. So that was kind of interesting. Okay, so here's some more, and these are all with that same style reference code. So you can see it's trying all different things from food to people and, you know, just different sorts of scenes. And you can see it's acting in an unusual way, I would say, that I would not have expected to say. Same style reference code is producing all of these images because it's not obvious to me at all what it's doing. They're all nice, but they're quite different in their look and feel, it seems to me. And again, these are all the same style reference code. Let's see if this one's still the same. Yep, that is. And okay, this one's different. All right, so I'll stop here. Here. All right. So this was a batch that I did with that one. And then I asked it, just summarize that. And so here's the traits that it came. And I'll show, hopefully this is quick. I can show something here. Because if you get something, this is what I got when I did it with the phone. And um, so I'm using my blog to go between the phone and my desktop. I'm on my desktop here. So I can copy to it's an easy way to do it. So I just copy stuff from the phone to the blog, and then I can access the blog from either the phone or the desktop. And something I wanted to show here is I can just say, please clean this up. I should know what that means. Okay. And let ChatGPT do that. And excuse me. So it's saying that it enforces dramatic cinematic lighting. Every image has a rich, warm light source. Let's see, did that? Rats. All right. This seems not to be responsive. So I'll read it from here. So it says it has a rich, warm light source, often casting deep shadows. Very interesting. It says it mentions the violin one. Goes on, strong emphasis on texture and materiality. And it's talking about the specifics of the image, elegant composition and sense of timelessness, and explains that through the images. And then the final conclusion is it doesn't enforce a specific art style, but instead prioritizes cinematic lighting, deep textures, and a refined, elegant aesthetic. The pizza result was likely due to MidJourney's bias towards food illustrations and not the SRef itself. So interesting observation. Trying to figure out like why it treated that pizza, so differently than how it treated the other ones. Let's see if this has come back. Yes, good. So here I asked it to clean it up. Okay. And so you can see this looks really nice. And whoops, let me grab the whole thing here. All right. So now I can just copy this, go back to my blog, and I could have done this before I started my video, but there we go. So this is a lot nicer to look at. Okay. And I don't think I'll do the third one. Like, I'll just show real quick. And it did sort of the same thing in terms of, explaining what it was doing. And I'll just show the images from it. But that's really cool that it can do that. I mean, it's definitely better at it than I would be at trying to figure out what's going on with these style reference codes. So I thought that was really cool. And again, all I did was I download it to the computer or the phone and then upload it to ChatGPT so it can see the images and then analyze it. And then it will try different images or different prompts to figure out what's going on and then come up with a conclusion. So that's pretty nice. And so these are all from the ones of the, I'll go back and show which one it was. All right, this is the last one. Really like this one a lot. So all of these standard reference codes were the same as the first one from the first batch that I said I liked the style of, which is a while down. And we'll get to that in just a second. And it was kind of interesting that like none of these results were what I was anticipating from the first one. So this was the one that I liked. So the last images that I showed, ending with the cabin those other ones came from this style reference code, and they just look different. They all look nice. I can kind of see like how I got voted in that top spot, and it could be if I drill down into some of the others that I didn't like what they looked like. Maybe it was just bad luck. And if I did other ones, I would like them. But I chose three that I liked. I liked all of the images that came from the style reference code, even though they were a lot different than what I expected that they would look like based on the one that I did. So a takeaway for me from that was that if you do one image with a style reference code, it doesn't have the impact that I was thinking it would in terms of consistency of what all they look like. And it's not necessarily clear what it's doing. Um, but if you get one that works, it can work like in a lot of different contexts. That's what I was finding from this. So I feel the sneeze coming on. Okay, let's see. Can I relax? Or is it? Nope, here it comes. Okay, so, excuse me. Um, this is mostly what I wanted to show, but just in case anybody is interested in more of the getting into the weeds of like what I was doing and working with this, I might have to just describe it depending on the response that I get. But um, on one of these here, it went into, oh, good, it came. All right. So these were the top 20 trending SRef codes. That's where I got these from. So 20 is a small enough number that you could just write them down, right? Or, you know, grab and copy paste and stuff. But it was nice to be able to do the view page source and just ask it to grab this data, and make a table from it. So, which is what it did. But there was another one that had to do, this site has a bunch of different ways of trying to get at them. So you can see this here. It's got all of these different um, filters, I guess you could call them. So I chose one of them I was interested with, which was vector. And vector had 75. And it turned out that when I did the view page source, that it was too large of a chunk of data for either ChatGPT. I tried with ChatGPT, I tried it with Gemini, and neither one of those could handle it because it was just the data was too big. So to get around that, what I did was I had ChatGPT, and I parenthetically, like it was a little bit frustrating to work with because it wasn't obvious what was going on, like why it wasn't working, because ChatGPT wouldn't, like, it would just give out weird answers. Like, for example, it would show me like three. It's like, well, there's 71 of these. Why are you just showing me three? And it just, I finally figured out that what was going on, it was just too much data. And so what I did was, to get around that, was I asked it to write a Python script, and then I gave it the Python script, went to Python, and had the script run it and output. It did this all on the phone, and it was easy to do. So, but I'll just describe it rather than actually showing it because it might be slow to show because of the response. But on the phone, the response is very quick. So I had ChatGPT write the Python script, and then I took the view page source and pasted that in the script. So it was part of the Python script, and I copied and pasted this thing, gave it to Colab of um, of Google. So I'll take a chance and see if it'll come up quickly. So, uh, boy, there are some great tools out that are free, and this is one of them. So this is, from Google, And uh, since I did it on my phone, it doesn't remember me. But basically, you can go to this plus code here, click on that, copy and paste the code, and have it run a Python script. Does it no problem. And then on a phone, you can't just copy and paste. I don't know what it's like on the computer, but you can't copy and paste from the output. And so you need to have it output to a file that's on your phone, and then you can access it that way. And what I did was I had it attached to notes, and then I could just look at it through notes on the phone. And a cool thing about these AIs is like ChatGPT will tell you everything, how to do everything. Really, really cool. So I'm just asking, how do I do this? How do I do this? And it tells me, and it just worked in seconds. Very, very easy, very, very quick. And I would say the thing that kind of amazed me about it was that I actually, again, I put the source from the view page source, I just copied and pasted that and assigned that to a variable in the script that ChatGPT wrote. And Colab had no problem. I was thinking it wouldn't work. I was thinking, oh, this is too big because it's a really really long script because it's got this huge amount of data from the view page source. But it no problem. Just a couple of seconds, it extracted the 70 or 71 style reference codes that it extracted for the vector type, and I haven't played around with those yet. I might do a video on that if I like it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that about how to do that. So once again, it was just apply the filter on the type that you're interested in. And some of these are small. Like if you click on ink and watercolor, there's only like 5 of them. So that's very easy. View page source, give to ChatGPT, and it can handle that no problem. But if you do ones that are big, like the vector, there are 71 different style reference codes, too much data. Ask ChatGPT to write a Python script to do it. If you have any questions, it'll tell you what to do. It told me we're Colab. It told me everything. So that is really, really neat that these tools are getting more and more user friendly and more powerful. So I just wanted to share that idea with you, and I hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, thanks for watching.